I'm going to go out on a limb here that you've played a significant amount of Stellaris in the past and you're trying to find out whether or not Galactic Paragons is for you. Now this puts me in a little bit of a difficult spot because this expansion is likely going to be one of the most divisive ones in the game's history. Personally, I think that this is a S-tier expansion and goes straight into the must-buy list for the game together with Utopia and Distant Stars. But it may not be for everyone, and allow me to explain myself. Now, usually a Stellaris expansion tries to improve on one thing. First Contact has primitives, Synthetic Dawn focuses on robots, Distant Stars adds new discoveries. However, aside from a few expansions, they usually really focus on one niche mechanic. Now, Galactic Paragons sets out to do one thing and one thing only, deepening the underlying mechanics for leaders, turning them into proper characters versus somewhat insignificant puppets that they are in vanilla. The thing is that this, unlike some other expansions, touches every single system within the game. To really boil it down, this is a Le Guin level change to the game and is essentially the fourth major rework for Stellaris. Now, normally when a character levels up, nothing really happens except for making them more efficient at their job. With the 3.8 patch, they will also get a few random traits throughout. And it kind of plays like before. With Paragons installed, however, a large chunk of the game makes a pretty strong turn. From general discovery to more in-depth empire management, placing the right people in the right place and nurturing your staff, and their abilities can be very, very far-reaching. They impact gameplay, and unlike before, it's no longer random, so you can mold your leaders the way you want to. Do you want a specialist explorer scientist who's an expert on dig sites? You can grow one. Do you want an admiral who's specialized in long-range warfare and whose charisma can improve the overall strength of your fleet in your entire empire? You can do that. Do you want a governor who's meticulous about industry and can therefore improve a whole sector's worth of output on strategic goods? It is all possible within Galactic Paragons. It really focuses heavily on people and their development, and you get to take full control of that. You can put them on the council, give them destinies, which are super abilities, specialize them in a variety of ways, and much, much more. There are hundreds of new traits in the game that really spice up the content and have some unique abilities as well. For me personally, this is an incredibly exciting change. For players that want to continue playing the empire building game that's been out for 7 years, for some of you it may not be so interesting. And this is actually quite jarring how much of a radical departure the Paragons expansion actually is. In some way, it's on par with Utopia in added value. But again, only if you're really interested in character building and adding those characters to your empires. Content-wise, there's a lot of interesting stuff here. The new Paragons, which they come in the renowned or the legendary category. They're an interesting extension of the specialist that you could find out in the field as before, except this time you don't get a promising officer or find the exile or dig up the oracle, but dedicated people with their own arts, skills, and traits. And there are 16 renowned ones, 2 for every single ethic, as well as 4 legendary variants that can spawn throughout in a variety of ways and can be quite powerful in their own right. Some can turn barren worlds into Gaias, others can turn pop psionic or have other rare science abilities. I'd almost wish there was the ability to turn off the leader management side of things for people that are not interested in building characters, yet want to play with these new Paragons that can be found. It's actually very, very interesting. And the underlying system is also very, very powerful, and do expect more of these Paragon leaders to be added retroactively to various expansions through the Custodians program. Now, origin and civic wise, there is quite a lot of rich amount of content here. 8 different civics, 1 origin, all extremely heavily focused on mechanics and everyone impacting the game in very significant ways. Plus, every civic in the game now also gives special council positions with unique bonuses to your empire. There are 2 new tradition trees, which heavily focuses on leaders, whether it be their own development or their effectiveness on the council. Dozens of council agendas, which further improve your empire. Hundreds of new traits. It's absolutely bonkers. As I said at the start of the video, I personally believe that this is a S-tier expansion. It adds so much goodness to the game, as well as well-needed depth to leaders. If you're a new player, I would instantly add this to the list as something I would buy bundled with the base game. If you are a veteran and the idea of improved leaders is not something that you're interested in, you can let this sail past you. Otherwise, this is a must-have expansion. Role players, you can roleplay to your heart's content. Min-maxers, it adds another layer of optimization. There's something here for everyone. Stellaris Galactic Paragons is available for $15 US and or local equivalent. Always remember that there are frequent sales for this game and its many expansions if you're still on the fence. But yeah, there you have it. And it's definitely an expansion to keep an eye on, and is very interesting to see where the direction of Stellaris is going with this. I'm going to go wrap it up here. This has been a review of Galactic Paragons. If you're more interested in other reviews on the expansions or just content regarding Stellaris in general, feel free to subscribe to the channel. And here is a review for First Contact that you can go and check out as well. Thank you so much for watching. Thank you to my patrons. And until next time, take good care of yourselves. And as always, each other.